Hi guys, this is MJ of MBTI Time, and a lot of you have been asking me on Instagram before.
How do I know if INFP type likes me?
So I thought, why not make a video about it and share my thoughts? Now, talking about INTPs. Before we continue on with the video, we have to understand that this can depend on factors like whether it's long distance or not, how long you've known each other, how much experience they have with relationships, whether good or bad, or things like past traumas or factors like culture and environment they grew up in. Make sure that they're actually the type you think they are. Otherwise, the stuff I'll say may or may not apply. And lastly, it can also depend on how young or mature the type is, or if they're healthy or unhealthy in general, among many other things. Now, before we talk about the signs, it's important to ask yourselves first if the person you're inquiring about is actually an INTP. Because INTP is also one of the more commonly mistyped personality types, along with INFJs, INFPs, ENTPs, INTJs, and so on. So, no thanks to 16 personalities. So, it's important that you know that they possess the cognitive functions of an INTP, not INTP A or INTP B. So, yeah, let's get right to the video. Number 1. How do you know if an INTP likes you? Well, they do a lot of research. And there are two ways they go about this. The first one is they research heavily about you. They do extensive research about stuff that you like, you don't like, all of that stuff. And the second one is they research about things that you're interested in. So they'll be able to, be more acquainted of the stuff that you're into. So INTPs are very curious by nature. And researching on you heavily is just really, doing a social media sweep or checking out on your tweets, your Facebook posts, all of that stuff, like what do you post on your feed, what kind of friends do you have, all of that. It's basically like a fun data gathering session for them. So some of them tend to be a little bit obsessive at the beginning, and it's really just part of them doing their due diligence. Number 2, another way to know if an INTP likes you is when they start picking on someone's brain by asking a lot of questions. I've noticed that INTPs get infatuated easily at the beginning. But when we're talking about genuine and sustained interest, then one of the first signs would be testing if you are an intellectual match, meaning somebody who doesn't necessarily have to have like such a high IQ, but rather somebody whom they can discuss ideas with or even sometimes argue. Nothing turns an INTP more than somebody who's able to keep up or even prove them wrong or make them go, So it's really making them think and also being able to keep up with them in that way. So at first or at the beginning or the early stages, an INTP is mostly drawn to the brains rather than just the exterior of a person. Number 3, the way to know if an INTP likes you is when they momentarily try to overcome their shyness and awkwardness and brave their way to initiate any form of contact. INTPs are a little bit more careful at the beginning in approaching their person of interest, especially having inferior FE. So it takes a lot for them to muster up the courage to approach somebody repeatedly in an effort or attempt to get to know somebody. So it might be different for men and women, but essentially it's really just initiating the contact and responding. Might be a risky thing for them, but when they do it, it means that they're willing to be exposed to the potential of being rejected or, unrequited affection just for them to get to know somebody. Number 4, you know an INTP likes you when they make a serious effort to suspend their immediate logical practical solutions to your problems and really take the time to empathize instead. So with their developing or hopefully a developed FE, sometimes their genuine care and interest shines when they don't simply offer logical and objective solutions but actually make an effort to understand where you're coming from. And this may apply if it's an INTP dealing with feeler types. But if it's a fellow thinker that like themselves, They merely just try to solve your issues logically or brainstorm ideas. So I also remember that they tend to do a lot of research to really be able to help you better, especially when it's emotional or relational. So I know that INTPs, when it comes to feelings or relationship, it's not really their strongest suit. But when they care about somebody, like one of the clients I've typed before, she was an INTP, and I remember her sharing that she really took the time to learn how to comfort somebody who was having a depressive episode to be able to comfort her better. Because even if it wasn't her strongest suit, she knew that she wanted to do something about it, and she so researched heavily about depression and like how do you comfort somebody with depression or having a depressive episode. And really, that's something to appreciate and notice about INTPs who care about somebody. Number 5, you know an INTP likes you when they start to become more sweet, playful, and relaxed around you. A lot of INTPs tend to be a bit more stoical and cold, a little bit robotic around people. So when they become more comfortable around you, they will start to become more silly and fun-loving and a little bit more playful despite their nihilistic tendencies. So they'll start to show off their soft side and their sweet side, either through their words or actions, like doing little projects for you or making you art, music, maybe doing an app for you even, or as simple as writing a letter. From what I've noticed, INTPs love to be loved. And so once they start to trust somebody, they start to let their walls down. Number 6, the way to know if an INTP likes you is when they start to share their knowledge and interests with you, and also be able to use their expertise to solve your problems. INTPs love learning, but more importantly, they love sharing. So they love being able to share what they know, what they've learned, with people whom they think will be able to make an effort to understand, listen, or even just appreciate what they're sharing. It may be as simple as random facts about the world, or science, technology, or anime, or be able to share about their favorite game. With regards to being able to solve your problems, whether it's a technical problem or a creative problem, they love being able to be of help to other people, especially to the ones they care about. So when they're able to offer their help, that's what makes them really feel needed and appreciated. So it's usually the rare times that they talk a lot or talk more when they're sharing or like helping you out. Number 7, the way to know if an INTP likes you is when they make a conscious effort to talk about how they feel, especially negative emotions. INTPs really have a hard time describing, let alone talking about how they feel. They have FI demon. It's in their 8th slot. So when they actually make the conscious effort to really let you know how they feel, even if it's something that's happened from long ago, then it's a big thing. I've noticed that a lot of INTPs take a long time to kind of have, register some emotions that they felt about something. But when they are able to talk about it the moment that it happened, or like 1-2 days after that it happened, then you have a special place in an INTP's heart. They really don't like to talk about emotions. It makes them really uncomfortable. So when they do, it means that they feel safe around you enough to open up. Number 8, one of the ways to know if an INTP likes you is when they reply. Much like other types, like INFPs, ENTPs, INFJs, ENFPs, they're really not fond of texting. They're usually distracted, doing something else, playing a game, or watching something. So if an INTP consistently initiates, maintains conversations, replies promptly or on time, then that's a big sign. Again, it will take some time for an INTP to get used to this, as many of them are not really avid texters. And at the beginning, they might be, but if it kind of wanes, then it's something to look out for. They have to be consistent about this, otherwise they probably just realize that, okay, I don't want this, or I'm tired, I'm bored. Number 9, last but not the least, You know when an INTP likes you, when they let you in on their space, and integrate you as part of their routine. An INTP, normally in relationships, don't know how much they value and need their personal space until they're already in one. INTPs tend to revel in their alone time. It's really the time where they get to do whatever they want, whether playing games, researching, watching anime, watching movies, doing all sorts of stuff that will tickle their brain. And once they do give up that personal space and time to hang out with you, spend time with you, whether online, offline, consistently, without remorse, then that means that they genuinely like you. If they happen to do all of these things consistently from this sign and the other signs that I've mentioned earlier, then congratulations, you got yourself an INTP. So, yeah, that concludes my episode for today about INTPs and how you know if they like you. So, let me know down the comments below if you resonated as an INTP or somebody who's dealing or dealt with an INTP. Hope you guys found it helpful and let me know which type you want me to do next. So, yeah, thank you for watching and see you guys next time. Bye!
Follow me on my socials at MBTI Time on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And if you're not sure if you're an INFP, INFJ, ENFP, INTJ, INTP, or any other type, book a typing session with me by visiting www.mbtitime.com. Links in the descriptions down below.